So the American Dream is a national show about real estate, lifestyle, and culture. We show you all around towns. Nurit, Coombe, Alex Martinez, our experts out of the Washington, D.C. marketplace. We're sitting down with them and the CEO of the agency, Mauricio Umansky. And we're going to talk a little bit about coast-to-coast market. Now, we can tell, Mauricio, that you are on the West Coast because of the sun that is showing there. I got a little bit going on behind me here. I know the East Coast is a little colder these days, but let's talk about the real estate market and how things are going. Last time we had you guys in, you gave us an update. So let's start there. Nurit, how are things going today?
The American dream of home ownership is still very, very strong here, right, in DC. So we have many, many buyers. Supply of inventory is very, very low. We have less than 1 month of inventory of homes. That means how long it takes for houses to sell. Just to put perspective, in 2008, we had 14 months of supply. So we are down a lot. And from last year, we're down 44% in listings. So we have a lot of buyers, a lot of demand, less listings out there, great interest rate, great market. As DC is a great market still.
So Alex, how do you navigate that kind of market for both buyers and sellers when it's so tough to find the inventory, it's tough to find the deal?
More of anything, I was talking to the team about this, and what we're doing, it's the relationships that we have been able to build through the years with other agents, even other companies, where obviously are doing a big push and people are coming in with very strong offers, no contingencies whatsoever. But it's kind of like the Wild West, if you would say that, because a lot of folks are waiving their contingencies and everything. But more of anything, it comes down to the relationship aspect of it. We are well known within the industry, and people respect us because of that. So that they know that eventually they're going to be on the other side. So they always try to work with us. And that is the key to this market, knowing who you're dealing with on the other side, knowing that you know what you're doing and you're going to be able to perform. They are likely to work with you because, they know that you are a good agent. And this is what we work so hard for, to build a good reputation across the board with everyone we touch, everyone we deal with at every level.
Mauricio, let's loop you in. Now, you're in Southern California. As much as we could speak to that market, and I am interested in what you're seeing, you also have a front row seat to markets all across the country as the CEO of the agency. What are you hearing from across the country, including your own backyard?
So I think it's pretty similar across America right now in terms of what is happening. And basically, it's very similar to what Alex was just saying. Inventories are low across America. Los Angeles, Aspen, Park City, urban cities, really, with the exception of San Francisco and New York, you're seeing kind of the same phenomenon all over the place. The continuation of the low interest rates has been very good for real estate, and people really want to buy. So everybody that was a renter is now buying. People that were buying, that own one home, are looking for vacation homes. You're definitely seeing a lot of movement leaving big urban cities and going to suburbs. In Los Angeles, we're seeing a big movement towards Santa Barbara, down towards San Diego, Orange County, Newport, Palm Desert, Palm Springs. And we're seeing the same thing in the East Coast, right? We're seeing, obviously, Maryland, Bethesda is just extraordinary. And we're just seeing a really tight inventory. So I think right now the name of the game is really buyers should really be making sure that they hook up with great real estate agents.
Yeah, bottom line, deals are happening. So who's helping you get to those deals is an important ingredient to the overall formula. I know that often we rely on things like tech to look up real estate, but tech ain't going to be able to crack the code on relationships and how you get a deal accepted. And this is what Alex and Nurit do so well on the Northeast. I think making predictions is always tough. If we would have looked back in March, who would have thought this is what would have happened to the real estate market? I thought the real estate market was going to crash. I thought everything was going to come tumbling down, and yet 2020 real estate prices went up. Interest rates are at historical lows. Mortgage professionals are having banner years, and homeowners are able to get more cost-effective homeownership in the way of those mortgages. So it's tough to make predictions, but you got to think at some point in time a vaccine's going to come through. It will change the dynamic of how we're functioning as human beings and as families. Nurit, I guess I'll start with you. How do you think that impacts the market? Do you think, we've obviously seen a stir of activity. Do you think inventory opens up? Do you think that people continue to move out of big cities into some of these suburban areas. What would you say happens on the assumption that we get past this COVID thing?
Sure. So, it's interesting. So I think that this year, for sure, we're still going to have a seller's market where there's going to be a tight inventory and a lot of buyers out there. But as the year gonna progress and towards the end of the year, we should have a surge of listings out there. There's going to be many more sellers who are going to be now comfortable to come to the market. We have a lot of sellers now waiting and getting their vaccination. And I have a lot of clients, a lot of listings that I'm going to be listing in the next few months because I know they told me, Nurit, we're going to get vaccinated, then we're going to sell the house. So we're going to have a lot of those coming up. You're also going to have the forbearance people who some of them will pay the mortgage and go back current. But assumption of about 650,000 homes in the United States will come to the market because they can't afford to pay the mortgage. So that will be towards the end of the year as well. So I feel that it's going to eventually balance out. Although I think that as last year in Washington Metropolitan, we have 10.4% price increase, which is a lot. I think this year we're going to have the same. So if you're a buyer and we can get you houses because we do have listings, we're being very creative, it's a time to buy.
So what do you think from an industry level we're seeing happening right now and over the next 12 months?
Yeah, that's a great question. There's a technology, obviously, right now. If you can digitize any industry, you're going to crush it, right? You're going to make a ton of money. And obviously, real estate is a huge industry. And there's certainly a lot of technology out there trying to digitize real estate. I think that one of the unique things about real estate is that we deal with life, right? And when I'm talking about real estate, I'm talking about residential real estate. Certainly digitizing commercial real estate is probably sooner than digitizing residential real estate, but I'm not sure it'll ever happen because we're dealing with life, okay? And lives. And everybody lives a different life. And it's not so much about the art of the deal, but it's rather about, the art and the consultation of what suits somebody different, right? Do you like, what kind of son do you like? Do you have kids that play football? Do you have kids that play soccer? Do you have, are schools important to you? As long as we have, and people love interior design, people love architecture. So as long as, unless we become a world of the house of pancakes, which is what I call, right? Every house is the same. Then you can digitize residential real estate.
My parents still live in the house I was raised in. And you brought up a good
Well, there you
point.
go.
Yeah, there's the financial side, right? Equity growth, tax advantages, the investment of real estate. Then it's your home, this is where you're going to live, your lifestyle, your neighborhood. Those things are priceless in value. And I just don't know how tech can solve for that. But I think the key ingredient is the real estate company, the real estate agency that embraces technology, I think will do well. And that's one of the things we've grown to love about Alex and Nurit is that they are personable, they're top producers, but they also are very techie when it comes to this stuff. And Alex, I'm looking at you, man. I know that that's what you do behind the scenes. We put Nurit on these shows, but I know you're the guy behind the gal.
Absolutely. So you said it right, Craig, sincerely. I think that is the reason why we complement so well. Technology, great. I'm all about technology. Nurit can tell you all about it, but let's not forget the emotional component that goes into buying and selling.
Yeah, and negotiating a good deal. Leave it to the gal from Israel, who is a grinder on deals. I know that she is, and I know your team has spoken very proudly of her ability to negotiate a good deal. All right, all of you, thank you so much for coming on the show, sharing some great information for us about the real estate market. Alex and Nurit, love what you're showing us in that market, the lifestyles, the neighborhoods, the culture. That's what this thing's all about. Appreciate you guys coming on the show. And more of the American Dream coming up next.